Hi, everybody. Welcome to No Story is Sacred. If you've never listened before, basically we're four siblings who grew up talking about the art of storytelling. Now that we're adults, we're still talking about it and inviting you to join the conversation.
Still talking about it.
What? I'm not sure I deserved that. I'm Pippin, and I would never violate the Prime Directive.
First of all,
you ignore
a goddamn lie. That's a goddamn lie.
The alien species that I gave science information to, they totally already knew about warp technology. They made a warp core with those stones and sticks.
Be pretty funny if they did, to be honest.
Yeah, they did.
You calling me a liar?
I'm not calling you a truther.
I'm Alex, and clearly the Federation needs an HR department and or something.
Sure.
Or you know, one of those just best practices kind of things, like an audit. It needs an outside auditing firm.
Like, okay, guys, you gotta stop, just stop the stripping in front of each other. Just, why?
Oh, I was thinking more importantly. So, remind me again why all the important people are in one room. Same reason that we put all the red
get into that.
Same reason we put all the top staff on away missions. I see. Okay.
Anyway.
Oh shit, it's my turn. Guys, we're really fucking professional now. We've had 100 episodes. Have you noticed? 100 episodes, and we are on top of our goddamn game.
Let's get through the intros before we get into that.
I'm Kat, and Captain Kirk, don't look. Why? Sit down. Don't worry about it.
That was a necessary scene. And
she was turned to the goddamn Sorry.
Yep. And in the trailer.
Oh Christ. I forgot the trailer.
Yep.
Sorry.
We'll get into that, too.
And, I'm Brendan, and I think Scotty can do no wrong.
And you are right.
Of course
you
I
are
am.
correct, actually. Yeah.
Well,
I think we can we have a quorum.
dropped Spock's mom, but you know.
Oh!
Wait, no. I'm sorry. That was Chekhov.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Chekhov did that.
Yeah, don't be bringing Scotty into Chekhov's mess. Although, of course, obviously, take a moment for the actor. That was some sad shit.
Anton Yelchin. And also, I don't think Scotty was even on the ship at the time.
No.
He was getting drunk somewhere, wasn't he?
Yeah,
he was on the outpost.
Oh,
Yeah.
That's right. Well, probably also drunk.
Listen. We just needed to rewatch the second movie, not the first. And I didn't do either.
Wow.
That being said, though, he was definitely getting drunk on and fucking his little alien buddy. They have a thing. Anyway, go on.
Obviously, yeah.
Hey, what are we talking about, Pip?
Hey guys, today, because it's our 100th episode. Thank you. Way to bring the energy up. We are revisiting what we talked about in our first episode.
Our first episode, guys.
So long ago.
How
We've grown.
How many years ago was that, to be fair?
2017.
Jesus.
No, that's not a real year.
That's not a real year.
And that was the 2013 movie, Star Trek Into Darkness.
Ooh, when Benedict Cumberbatch was still in everything. For no good reason.
He kinda still is in a lot of ways.
I know, but yeah, I feel like he was in 5 movies that year or something.
Well,
was he Smaug that year?
I mean, for Smaug for a couple years.
It was back when his face was just weird, and now he's getting a bit older, and the wrinkles are starting to set in, and it's like, oh hey, you're starting to now look dignified. It's weird.
And in his defense, he is a good actor.
He is. He's a fantastic actor, and actually he's an amazing comic actor.
Oh,
which is really unfortunate that he never gets to fucking do it.
And he can do good voice work.
Again, comic actor.
Yeah. Anyway. So if
for those
we come to bury him, not to praise him.
For those of you, you should listen. You should listen to Cabin Pressure.
Yep, you picked up what I was putting down.
Yeah,
Cabin Pressure is fucking great.
It is.
So he comes by voice work legitimately.
Yeah.
Anyway, so if you haven't watched Star Trek Into Darkness or listened to our very first episode, there are spoilers for
so
both,
many.
Really. If you want specific content warnings for things we may talk about, check the show notes on nostorysacred.com. But if you've never watched Into Darkness, or again, if you didn't watch the first episode, watch the first episode. listen
Pip.
to it.
Did you watch it, though?
I mean, watch it in your mind's eye.
Ooh.
The summary, according to Google, is the crew of the Starship Enterprise returns home after an act of terrorism within its own organization destroys most of Starfleet and what it represents.
Wait, what?
Yeah. Leaving Earth in a state of crisis. With a personal score to settle, Captain James T. Kirk leads his people on a mission to capture a one-man weapon of mass destruction, thereby propelling all of them into an epic game of life and death.
Wait, it wasn't the San Francisco headquarters of Starfleet.
Yeah, that was.
Yeah, it was.
And also,
I thought
there
it
was
London.
there was a
It
library
was earlier
at
in
the
the movie.
Is it when destroying all the captains and shit?
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
The London lab was exploded, and all the captains like, oh shit, we need to all meet at this one place in this very exposed
And
building.
it's always this room. Everybody knows it's this room.
I have in my notes
With the
your
big
OPSEC is
fucking
bad.
windows.
I have in my notes your OPSEC is bad and you should feel bad.
It shouldn't have been Kirk's job to figure out, wait a moment, and this is a setup. It should have been, and Danny and like special ups going, hold on, going, no, let's all meet remotely and not all die.
I'll do you one better. It should have been Shannon in administration,
Very good.
who's in charge of scheduling rooms. Who's like, you know what, we did that last time. That doesn't seem like a good idea. You know, I'm gonna put them in the Odeum. We'll put them over there. There.
Here's the thing. I remember back when I was taking EMT classes, because, who hasn't?
I mean, I have, so, that scans.
That in a situation such as that, where there's a terrorist action of some sort, a bombing or something, then it's entirely possible that there will be a secondary attack where people set up. I was taught that in my tiny little podunk town.
I mean, isn't there a thing where, executives won't all fly on the same plane, even?
Fuck. You're not supposed to have, if you're two pilots on a ship, you don't eat the same goddamn meal. Thank you again, Cabin Pressure, for teaching me that.
Or the movie Airplane. Haha.
A classic of our times.
One time, when I was going to Viable Paradise, all the staff accidentally scheduled ourselves for the same ferry.
Oh no.
And we looked around and went, I mean, it's probably fine, but next time you guys.
That's real
this
funny,
ship
actually.
goes down, we're all fucked.
And we're baby writers just wandering around, editors having no clue what the fuck to do.
And we're thinking, well, no, we've still got one staff member on shore. She could do it.
Yeah. And so, which is why I'm now proposing for the future of this podcast that we can never be all in the same room again. I'm just sorry, guys.
That's a good point. Guys,
yeah.
I mean, ops has spoken.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Alas,
anyway.
Space Jam, the first and the last.
I mean, we've
That's
already
scans, to be fair.
stormed
That's
those
pretty fucking fair.
heights. I mean, but end on a high note, that's what I say.
Remember mid-July, everyone? Good
Remember
time.
2019?
There was a July?
Hey.
Y'all, I recently found out that 2017 existed.
And now you're learning July existed.
Literally
Sounds fake.
today, I was talking to somebody. I'm like, yeah, no, I've been down here before. And they're like, really? I'm like, yeah. It's like last year. And they're like, oh, no, you mean 2019. I'm like, no.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, so
Huh.
And that just brings us to Khan.
so the plot of this movie,
Wait, actually, I do want to say, let's set the scene a little bit. At the time, in 20 whatever year this came out, everyone was 2013. Everyone was like, "Ooh, we're pretty sure it's got to be Wrath of Khan, because what else would they do in terms of reboot?" And they've got Benedict Cumberbatch, who does weird, but they say his name is John Harrison, and everybody's stuck by that John Harrison thing, hard. It's in all the interviews. They're like, "Yep, John Harrison." So it's supposed to be a goddamn reveal in the film. Anyway, Point is, John Harrison is a villain, guys.
Well, no one will ever actually believe a villain named John Harrison.
Yeah, it sounds awfully fake, but that proves that you can't predict anything about our story, guys. Not a goddamn thing.
Bob Johnson.
I'd actually fuck it. I'd actually want a movie where the villain is legit, like John Harrison or Bob Johnson, or something like that. And it's like, hi.
I was about to say, didn't that happen in Simpsons? But no, that was still like Scorpius or something, right?
Scorpio, yeah.
Hank Scorpio, yeah.
It was still a pretty good villain name.
Yeah.
The humor was that he was a great boss.
Yeah. Man.
Yeah, right?
I'd work for Hank Scorpio.
He had, oh my god, the housing, the health insurance.
I mean,
benefits,
he had it all.
The pay. You just had to be willing to sacrifice some things. And that brings us back to Star Trek.
Woo!
Huzzah. So, buttons.
Yeah. Yes. Missing, in a lot of Star Trek, if you've noticed. Very zipper heavy,
Not even zippers, hun. They do, magnetic clasps.
That explains so much about, Captain Kirk and his shirt. So, the movie opens, we're on an alien planet, we're violating the Prime Directive, it's a good time.
It's a fun cold open.
It is. But they're now that civilization's god.
Which is why we have the Prime Directive.
They stole
blatantly.
They stole their old god, and now they're...
Also, they're like, oh, we're in disguise. I want you guys to think, compared to the morphology of, these aliens are like, yes, they have 2 legs, then they have 2 arms, and they have a head, and mouth. They are otherwise, white and kind of gangly, and they have like flaky skin and funky eyes.
Which is why they
You've just described half the population of Earth.
But wait, I put it to you that a human to that alien is as a gray to a human.
Mm.
And in that case, we fucking recognize when something isn't like us.
It's true.
We're very good at it.
Here's the thing.
Go on.
So in this cold open, they're running away trying to get off the planet while Spock tries to deactivate the volcano that's going to explode and destroy everything.
None of which was their job, I believe.
No, they're supposed to leave it alone. That's the natural course of that goddamn planet.
Mm-hmm.
It's, unfortunate, but there you are.
We made these rules for a reason.
Yeah.
So many good reasons, guys.
But here's the thing. They are worrying about violating the Prime Directive at this point. But I'm over here like, how do you get the Enterprise into the ocean without violating the Prime Directive?
It's the middle of the night, Lassie.
Yeah.
Actually, no, to be fair, Scotty thought it was a fucking stupid idea. And he's right. Salt water on something that's meant to go in space?
Scotty is the only person with sense in this goddamn movie, and that is why he couldn't be on the ship for part of it.
That being said, Simon Pegg also knows how to do babble.
I'm remembering
he does it well.
I'm remembering a line from Futurama, like, how many pressure is the ship able to handle? And the professor's like, 1.
I just want to wonder, how did the decision to go down to the planet happen in the first place? Cause Kirk was like, we gotta go down there and help them. And none of his command crew was like, wait a second. This is in blatant against orders from Starfleet. We're not allowed to do this, Captain.
I mean, I did assume that the only reason he got away with it was that somehow he's like, yeah, we should definitely go down there. Hey, by the way, Spock, did you remember that your planet blew up? So anyway, we gotta go down there, and save some things. For no reason.
Makes sense.
I mean,
Spock, your planet blew up. Wouldn't that be sad if it happened again on your watch?
Spock.
What?
Are you emotionally compromised?
But
good morning, crew. Spock, your planet blew up. What?
And couldn't they have just, if they were able to fly the ship into fly the ship in at the dead of night or something, couldn't they have just...
The brightly loud ship, yeah.
Yep.
Why couldn't they just drop the fucking bomb in there and then to put... Such a good question.
Exactly.
Yeah. Such a goddamn good question.
But, and the reason is, it's a cool open.
Yeah. At the end of the day, the reason is it makes for a fun cold open because we want to have them do away missions, all that good stuff. The realistic approach to this problem is, oh, that planet's going to blow up without intervention? Hey, Scotty, can you put that thermal charge inside a photon torpedo and then just drop it into the volcano from orbit? Aye, Captain, it's basic orbital mechanics.
Which, by the way, would have been great foreshadowing for weird things going in photon torpedoes.
And also...
Speaking of...
Al?
Also, just a quick way of undoing that. Like, on the bridge, there's a random space god, like, thank you for saving my people. I shall now let you go. And vanishing, like, so, like... How do we even fucking put that into the report, guys?
Oh, you mean like the actual god of their people?
Yeah.
Like it's just another alien? I fucking love that,
cute.
actually.
Yeah,
That's amazing.
And that's how they got away with it in an old Trek.
Well, not just Q, but also, remember first 2 episodes of Voyager?
Yeah.
What Caretaker?
Yeah.
Just like, we fucked this up, so we're just gonna hang out until we fix it, until we die.
I mean, old Trek knew what was up. If you needed something done, you send in the old ones. You send in the blue ones. You send in Space Abraham Lincoln.
You go to the Nazi planet, and then, to be fair, again, this is why Voyager is the best, I feel the truest encapsulation of original Trek. They had Nazi aliens. They did that. Fucking Voyager. Anyway, go on.
So anyway, the cold open is a nice encapsulation of everything wrong with this movie.
It really fucking is, guys.
And here I thought you were going to be like, and the cold open establishes the status quo of our characters with Kirk bending the rules and Spock sticking to protocol. We're going to be subverting those status quos over the course of the movie because that is storytelling. But go on.
Introducing all of the characters in the most annoying way possible. None of the characters are charming in this movie. I love Star Trek.
Quick, Spock. Establish that we're kind of on the rocks right now. Oh, we're kind of on the rocks right now.
Literally, the very first line of the film that isn't a alien how do you pronounce that? Ululation?
Ululation.
Thank you. One of those is Bones doing a variant of the classic Bones joke. Except that it's like, because it's the very first fucking line, it feels obviously pandering as opposed to charmingly pandering, which is what I seek out of a reboot.
Damn it, Jim, I'm a doctor, not a cold open.
That would be funny.
But yeah.
So everything wrong.
Yeah. It doesn't make sense. Why is this happening? The characters are like shadows of themselves.
I am the shadow. The true self.
Is that anime?
Yes.
God damn it.
What's the anime so she can put it in the show notes later?
Yeah, guys, don't don't tell her.
Yep.
You dicks.
I'm the one who's going to have to Google based off what she says.
Mm-hmm. I'm just going to be like, and then there was that anime joke. I'm not even going to
Could you please at least put the exact line or
timestamp
timestamp or something? Anyway.
Depends on how kind I feel.
I'm not the one anyway. So they do this thing. It vaguely relates to the plot later in that they violated the Prime Directive. None of the rest really matters.
It really doesn't. It doesn't come back. It doesn't do anything interesting. In fact, it just establishes that this is a bullshit universe.
Oh, it does.
Incorrect.
It does put Kirk in hot water.
Yeah, the Prime Directive thing.
No, there's also the emotional conflict between Spock and Uhura that gets established because of the cold open, because Spock was like, I'm going to sacrifice myself for the needs of the many. And she's upset by that.
That's true, but the thing is, there's that and the Prime Directive thing, but that could have been done so many different ways.
You just had to have Spock do something dumb that wasn't thinking about his relationship. Dumb but honorable, that kind of thing.
Like, none of the actual, practical bits about the planet came back. Like, I would have been content if they found the fucking Tribble there, because by the way, the Tribble later comes out of fucking nowhere.
Yeah. And it's like, well, wait. We have Klingons in this movie?
It's true.
Anyway.
Go on.
So, they do this thing. Kirk gets in trouble about it because he lied in his report. Just said, hey, we went to the planet. It's all cool.
Is it a lie or is it just a lie by omission?
mission primarily.
Yeah.
Which is still, a lie.
He still shouldn't do it.
Well, he omitted the fact that he violated the Prime Directive. Which Spock did say in his report. So Kirk feels betrayed by this, and I'm like, I'm not sure why you expected anything else from him.
Spock's like, you didn't even tell me that was the plan. Like, there's like this subtle implication, like, if you had just told me, I could have figured out a way to Vulcan my way around it.
We'll ride and die, but I gotta know where we're riding to, bro.
Like, I'm working blind here, come on.
So, Kirk feels very, very betrayed that Spock would ever do such a thing. Spock's just kind of, hurt and confused as Kirk is mad. Pike yells at them both.
Pike also, he did some things wrong, but I also still love Pike.
Pike in this movie early on was establishing way too many crows flying over him.
That's true.
Especially,
hold on. Let me go feed my crows. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, especially when he kept on referring to Kirk. Yeah. Well, yes, please. Especially when he kept on kept on repeatedly saying "son" to Kirk.
I mean, in a post-Hamilton world, every single time he said "son," I kept wanting Kirk to say, "I'm not your son."
Here's the thing. One, Kirk cannot hold on to a father figure for the life of him.
Yeah, it's illegal.
Pick whichever him I was referring to. And two, the thing about Pike is that every iteration of him is going to have vultures around him, because of, the original track.
Yeah, that is his nature.
The fact that he survived the first movie.
Shocking.
Yeah.
Gave us a false sense of hope.
It's like it's like when Sean Bean's in a movie and he doesn't die.
Which has statistically happened.
It has?
It's true.
I've read about it.
He didn't die in The Martian.
He didn't die in, Jupiter Ascending.
He didn't die in Silent Hill. Oh.
Which is shocking. So anyway, so Kirk gets stripped of,
yeah, he does.
Of the Enterprise, and I think also his rank.
Yeah, they were going to send him back to Starfleet because that's a thing that happens.
Well, if you didn't get the Prime fucking Directive,
maybe he does need to go back to fucking school.
But Pike talked to them around, and he finds Kirk in the bar later, because what's Kirk gonna do?
And then they have a tearful, like, hey, remember that time I met you and changed your life? No reason, let's just drink.
So what's that over my head? Although that was something that kind of irritated me in the sense that, I mean, Kirk literally saved all of Earth and Starfleet in the first movie. They aren't going to, like, kick his ass out. I think he'd probably be reassigned into a less prone to temptations to break the rules in the Prime Directive role elsewhere. Like, still have, like, the nice cushy captain pay and job and all that, again, because he saved the Earth.
Or just a year probation.
Yeah.
To be honest, I did kind of read Pike's, like, I'm gonna yell, and you know what? They didn't even invite me to that meeting. I did read that as I'm gonna go real hard ass so that you can give, even though you kind of know, of course they're not gonna do that, but somebody evidently needs a fucking lesson drilled into their heads. So let's give him an evening of thinking that he's fucked.
Mm. And here's the thing. He did save Earth last movie, but literally, I don't think he graduated yet.
That's true.
So giving him a captainship right after that was actually irresponsible.
But we've already established that Starfleet apparently is filled with fucking morons.
It is.
In this timeline, apparently, yeah.
True.
Which brings us...
every timeline.
But filled with morons, which brings us...
Yeah, so Pike makes Kirk, instead of whatever he was going to do, his first officer on the Enterprise, which is now Pike's again. And the first thing they're going to do is go to this, super secret meeting that everyone knows about. Because a archive in London has been destroyed. And
by one of their own.
By one of their own. In what appears to be a terrorist act against Starfleet. So we gotta get the top brass together.
Again, not to interrupt, and I don't want to speed this along just as much as anybody else. The fact that it was a terrorist act done by somebody within Starfleet makes this meeting of captains and admirals and all that even more stupid.
Yeah, they knew that their internal intelligence was compromised. They knew that already.
Like that, that archive, with quotation marks, well, they knew was also a super secret lab. So someone who would know that would also know the super secret other protocols.
Right? Also, I'm just a little shocked that nobody ran down or at least mentioned running down, the compromise point. The fact that, the reason that this particular person was vulnerable was that they had a sick child. And there was no discussion of, kind of looking, like, how did the person know that? Is this something we need to be concerned about? Well, what were they able to do? Who did that? Iron Man 3.
Also, if that is a super secret, site, then assumedly everyone who works there is some sort of special agent, even the archivists who are actually doing the archive front. And therefore, internally, they should know who can be compromised.
Exactly.
Because that's, like, if you're even going to be a special agent in the FBI, our thing, part of the process, is knowing, okay, who are you? Who are you related to? What can be used against you? Because, you're human and vulnerable in that way. So it already should have been known that was a potential point.
Yep.
But yeah, so there are all those chickens. Here they are to roost. And here is John Harrison, in a ship to make himself some fried chicken.
That's hilarious.
And just as Kirk is putting 2 and 2 together and miraculously getting 4.
Wait a second,
shocking
guys.
All of us.
This is a terrible frickin' idea. Duck!
Annoying everyone else at the table for speaking up.
Yep.
He tried real hard to not, he was a dumbass and he's like, I'm sorry. And then, why did that admiral let him talk?
Admiral Marcus was playing by his own rules.
Because he's a super secret villain.
Yeah, but he would have... Okay, so, listening audience, if you haven't catched, he's a super secret villain. But, let us say he had said shit all, right? Then, well, wait, who is he trying to really do? He's really trying to kill... Alright, back up. Ignore me. Point is, I hate it.
Yes, very true. So Khan, blows,
John Harrison.
John Harrison.
Con Harrison.
Oh, no! Oh, fucking Christ. Okay.
So shoots up the room. Kirk finds a weapon somewhere and shoots at him. So John goes away. And unfortunately, Pike is shot.
Snuffs it.
In the attack, and dies. And
while
Spock
being, tenderly manipulated with his brain goo by Spock.
Spock mind melds with him in his final moments because Spock is freaky like that.
Right? There's no good reason to do that except be like, I wonder what it's like to feel death. Oh, it sucks!
Here's the thing.
Don't worry. Don't worry, Jim. You can call me Daddy now.
Oh God.
Here's the thing. That could have been an interesting thing to explore because with the death of his planet.
What did his mom feel like? And then that gets into the parent thing, right?
Yeah. Such an interesting thing that could have been explored.
Would have been so great, right, guys?
Yep. So, most of the people are dead. And, Pike certainly is. And, Admiral Marcus, who is the super secret villain, is now
running Starfleet.
And wants revenge, because that's what Starfleet's about.
And he's heading to Kronos.
John Harrison is heading to Kronos.
Well, again, thanks to the first movie, we have the super magic teleporter or transporter that can go between star systems now, not just, planet to a ship that's going at warp. I mean, I don't know, man. I don't like interplanetary transporters myself, because then it just makes starships kind of obsolete.
Yeah.
Also,
right.
Also, that stuff's not even unavailable in by next gen and DS9 and Voyager. Like, what's going?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, God. Yeah.
It is not good.
It's the movie magic that's
Yeah.
Oh, wait a sec. Wait, this is an alternate world. Where did they get the jump stuff?
Oh,
Did
from
they
the
get
first
it?
movie.
from the future.
Yeah. Future Scotty.
But it's the future Scotty from that universe.
From our original
Here's
timeline.
the thing.
Wait,
Okay,
oh,
no,
goddamn.
I remember,
Okay.
and I'm the Star Trek nerd here.
I'll
What
fight you about
happened?
that later.
I'm the original Trek nerd.
Deal. Okay, fine.
What happened in the first movie is they didn't have a transport like that yet. But old Spock came, talked to Scotty, and Scotty's like, that doesn't exist yet. And he's like, here's the math. And he's like, what? No, that's not, who created this? And Spock's like, you did.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah.
Fuck.
So it was still a transporter pad to transport pad was still involved somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
And you could go to a ship, in warp. But it was still at that point, transport pad to transporter pad. But not beyond what Scotty on the Enterprise would have already known. Just a few years in the future.
So a great question. Why aren't they just fucking planet hopping now? Space is not that interesting.
I mean, who knows?
Well,
the point is going to another.
The answer
star system.
is because it's a movie and they don't want to slow down the action with the entire Enterprise crew kind of sitting in in the holodeck for a week or two. It's a long travel time to Kronos, you guys. What do you expect?
And also, does the other planet have a transporter pad?
And Pike's like, go, Marcus, this is go to Kronos, take these very suspicious, his torpedoes with you, who they're not filled with people. Oh.
No, you can't open them. God.
They're torpedoes. Come on, guys. Come on. Be logical.
Photons are people. People.
How do you even get to that?
Oh,
As an idea.
I mean, you have a copy of the Villain Handbook.
Yep.
So Marcus wants revenge. Kirk also wants revenge. Spock is all over there going but why? I get this is a bad situation, but I'm not sure this is what we should be doing.
This seems like not the way to go about this. Anyway.
This doesn't seem very wizard, Captain.
But Mark's like, take my torpedoes, take my sexy daughter, and
No, he didn't.
No. She snuck on board.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah, you're right.
Which, by the way, let's talk again about security. What the absolute triple fuck? At this point,
Well-
to be so that somebody can just randomly at this point, I genuinely think that this is not a flaw in the storytelling, it is a flaw in the goddamn universe. Clearly, that's just a fucking dumb universe, and that is no longer considered our future. Sorry, guys.
Here's the thing. Mm-hmm. Original Trek wasn't that great about that sort of thing either.
Yeah, but it was in the 60s, so so you still have to think about relative, Well,
here's the thing. She is an admiral's daughter and, probably has the smarts to hack orders or something like that.
She probably has
I can
clearances.
waive that. If we have the fact that she's, computer savvy and all that, whatever. That didn't bother me too much. Although one thing I did like and appreciate, and I mentioned in the opening, is Scotty is I am not putting something on my ship that I can't verify all that's inside it because it might blow up in weird ways and then it's my job to fix it.
I gotta say also,
right.
that's CYA. That's classic cover your ass, and that's administrative. I gotta love that.
Well,
Good
it's
boy.
engineering planning. I mean, if it's your job to fix what's broke, knowing what broke it in the first place is kind of your priority. And if somebody's being awful cagey about what's in those torpedoes,
I mean, that in and of itself should be considered fucking suspicious.
Then I gotta be okay, so this is probably highly radioactive, possibly poisonous. Is
war.
this...
Are we carrying a war crime?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And in this case, they were.
I love Scotty because he objected from the practical point of view of, like, I don't know if whatever's in there is going to mess around with our warp core. And also from the moral standpoint of why are there torpedoes on our science vessel?
God, Scotty is just the best.
One time, Scotty was possessed by the spirit of Jack the Ripper.
I remember
Pippin,
that
don't spoil that episode. Don't spoil it. Besides, does it really beat out the salt vampire? Come now.
Oh, what can? Or the terrifying space amoeba. Anyway, the original Trek was great.
It was so good.
All right, you guys, I'm going to try to get through the rest of this movie as fast as possible.
We're going to let you.
Yeah.
And by we, I mean I.
They go to Kronos.
Yeah, so, they go to Kronos. Spock is all like, hey, maybe we should, like, capture him and, have him go on trial, you know, as this is the right thing to do. Even though Marcus is all like, just nuke him from orbit.
It's the only way to be sure.
It's the only way to be sure.
Classically, we know that if, you don't see the body, that means that they're definitely dead.
Yeah! So they go to Kronos. Kirk is all like, we're gonna go take him alive, cause I do have morals. They have an away mission. Spock and Uhura have a lover spat, and Kirk does not want to be in the middle of, even though he is on Uhura's side.
And makes that clear.
Which, to be fair, is always the right side. The Klingons are all like, hey, GTFO our planet, which is fair.
Valid.
There was a firefight.
Why do you have cock rings on your head?
Listen, we are not discussing that right now because Brendan gets sad the last time I said it.
It's called a callback.
Oh, that is a callback. Oh shit! First episode callbacks, guys.
Also, every Klingon looks different. Every Star Trek, they have to do something. Worf does not want to talk about it.
He does not want to talk about it. Which was canonically the best answer.
John Harrison saves them all. John Harrison is taken alive.
Taken alive, specifically when it gets revealed that they happen to have 72 special torpedoes that they are ready to fire.
72.
72.
Very important.
Is 72 important? No. But you did say 72, not 74? Okay,
72.
good.
Not 76. Those are the number of trombones on board.
Yes. And as soon as that number comes up, he surrenders, because it has all the people in it.
Yeah. John Harrison, reveals that the torpedoes were people all along. These are real friends we made along the way, are those torpedoes. Bones does pretty much the only thing he's allowed to do all movie, which is take some blood. Bones, not allowed to be in this movie, really, which might be why I don't like it that much. I recognize my own biases.
Sometimes.
The Enterprise breaks down because Scotty was right. And they were sabotaged by secret villain Marcus, who did not want them to come back, cause he wants to start a war.
He's got it.
Okay, there's gotta be easier ways to start a goddamn war with Kronos.
Probably. Look at a Klingon funny.
Literally, Uhura did it just by walking in.
To start a war with Klingon, you send a beautifully calligraphy letter, asking, "Dear ruler of Kronos," I forget your current name, would you...
Caliph. Wait, no, that's God. No, right. So go on.
Would you please do me the honor of going to war with me? And the Klingon...
And they'd be like, oh my god! I never thought it would happen! Oh my god!
The Federation wants war? Oh.
Cindy, are you getting this on your phone?
Oh my gosh, yes!
1,000 times
Today would be a beautiful day to die
with you!
Anyway,
that's me in Stovacore.
Oh my god, Stovacore. Fuck yeah, that is a great way to, they would do it just for fun.
Yeah, it's a good fucking time. So yeah, the Enterprise, is broken down. Chekhov also not allowed to be in this movie very much.
He's like a boy wonder, but not a very good one.
Yeah.
Because he's suddenly, supposed to be head of engineering. That's not his training. He can do it.
It really isn't. Isn't he Nav?
Yeah.
Yep.
It makes much more sense that, Sulo takes over Khan, but...
Because, yeah.
Because that's literally the line of whatever. But this is just a case of Jim fucking Kirk looking around being like, I know your name. You. Yeah. Which is not the way hierarchy works.
Anyway, so everything's gone to shit. Harrison reveals that he is, I'm not sure you guys know this.
Wait, what?
Wait,
No.
what?
It was the biggest fucking reveal.
No.
He's actually Khan.
And the music swells.
Dun, dun.
And you just know all the other characters are like, who?
Here's the thing. The reason why it's so surprising is because Khan in the original series is played by a person of color.
But see, they only did it so it'd be a surprise, you guys.
No racism involved here.
None.
Ricardo Montalban.
Yep, and his pecs.
Oh, yeah.
And that chin.
And his hair.
And in fact, they didn't even try to match the look, even though it would be the exact same Khan without any changes from the original timeline.
Now, this is a throwback to the original. I remember this argument. That Khan, in and of himself, is not part of the reboot universe. Because he is from the past.
Yep.
He's a frozen son of a bitch, except that he got unfrozen. So he should still be Ricardo fucking Montalban.
Yeah.
And his pecs.
Hey.
It's like, again, love Benedict Cumberbatch, but not for Khan.
No.
I think there are interviews of John Cho being super salty about it.
I remember that. That was good shit.
Good times.
We'll say though, with this movie, John Cho channeling like inner rage when he's being intimidating acting captain.
Uh-huh.
It's a good time.
Good times.
Sulu does not fuck around. Anyway.
But he does invite you to find out.
Yeah, he does. So everything has gone to shit. Kirk contacts Scotty to sort of go like, hey, I'm so sorry. Also, you were right. Can you check out these coordinates for me?
That Khan told me about.
That Khan told me about.
Oh, I'm gonna send my favorite engineer.
Well, the only person I can trust in all of this. It's like the only moment of good thinking Kirk does all movie. Let me verify this with someone I know doesn't want to be involved in any
because he
bullshit.
did try to make sure that I didn't bring the fucking things on board. So presumably he doesn't have a horse in this race.
Yeah. And so one thing leads to another, and Scotty finds a military ship behind Jupiter, as one does.
As one does.
It's like the USS Behemoth or some other nonsense.
USS Ass Kicker, I think you'll find.
USS overcompensation?
USS Truck Nuts.
Oh, God.
So Scotty stows away on that just in time for them to go all the way across the galaxy to go wreck Kirk's shit. And General Marcus is all like, hey, guess what? You know too much. So y'all who know what happened, and all 72 of the super people and Khan are all on board. Super cool. Awesome. I'm going to destroy your ship. And Kirk's all like, please let my crew go. And Marcus all like, no, sweetie, this is a lesson you need to learn from the beginning.
Your daughter?
Consequences for your actions.
Your daughter's here?
Oh, that's cool. I'll just transport her up.
Oh,
like, thanks for giving me the heads up, bro.
And Marcus proceeds to, wreck their shit. But Scotty stops them in time, and Kirk and Khan go over to the other ship in a recreation of the planet drop in the first movie.
Because it worked so well the first time, you might as well do it again.
I mean, this movie doesn't have an original thought at all.
Nope.
They get there, they wreck their ship back. Khan does his double cross.
Shocking, absolutely no one.
Curse your son, yet inevitable betrayal.
We get the necessary cameo from Spock Prime.
Yep. Oh yes, Spock
for
uses
no good fucking reason.
Spock uses this opportunity to go like, let me double check with my own source, me.
And to be fair, Spock Prime, he's like, I told you I wasn't going to say anything. That being said,
fuck Khan.
Like, wait,
right in the ear.
Wait, who's that pasty motherfucker?
That's John Harrison, guys.
John Harrison's cool. Anyway.
Oh, he's a bro. Sad time. Gone through a lot of stuff.
Yeah. So So yeah, Khan sends, Kirk and General Marcus's daughter, Carol, back to the Enterprise because the captain should go down with his ship.
Evil.
And also, he's gonna destroy the Enterprise as well, so might as well.
You clean up all your stuff.
And then
Spock does the shell game, kinda.
I do love a shell game.
Spock is all like, hey, Bones. Or actually, I'm sorry. Hey, Dr. McCoy. You know how you accidentally almost, tripped the warhead in the torpedoes earlier in the movie that we didn't mention before? Can you do that again on purpose?
Thank you for reminding me of my goddamn incompetence.
Can you do that again on purpose? Why?
And
please?
72 times in the next 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Damn it, I'm a doctor, not a
metronome?
Weapons expert. But he does it because he's goddamn fucking Bones.
Hell yeah.
And just better than other people. Somewhere in there, he brings a Tribble back to life, using Khan's blood.
You know, for fun.
Listen, Bones could cure a rainy day.
I'm sure it won't come up later.
No, it's not important.
Yeah.
Otherwise, they would have established the Tribble earlier in the movie.
What?
So, well, they did establish Khan's blood,
yes.
having weird healing factors, earlier in the movie.
Hence why, oh, by the way, the dad who, of the little girl who got saved by Khan's blood in the beginning, who then betrayed everybody and blew up stuff, but then also sent a message to Starfleet to reveal his betrayal, because he is honorable at the end, was one of the Doctor's companions from Doctor Who.
Mickey.
And so all I can think is that somewhere the Doctor's like, guys, I had it handled.
Anyway. Actually, considering how he felt about Mickey, it's like, God damn it, Mickey.
So
if you had just waited.
Anyway, Spock sends the crew, sends quote unquote Khan's crew to his ship, and then is like, "Are they all aboard, Khan?" And Khan's like, "Yes." Okay. Boop.
Detonate. And Kirk, now on board the Enterprise, is like, "Did you just kill 72 people?" And Spock's all like, "Fucking no, they're in medbay." We got them out of the missiles. They were just sort of in there.
Not all of us are named James Tiberius Blow Shit Up Kirk. Come on now.
So they limp their way back to
Earth.
The general direction of Earth. Khan is all like, well, no, you're not getting away with this. He gets back onto the Enterprise. Listen, it all gets sort of wibbly at this point.
Well, no, there's more fighting and all that. He's trying to crash the ship into Starfleet and I think succeeds, or misses because power failing. But in the course of all this, right, the Enterprise is like crash landing onto Earth and the power is failing because that's what happens.
The warp core is out of alignment and the automatic stuff isn't working. It has to be done manually, but it's also certain death because of the radiation. So Kirk's gonna go do it. And Kirk does get the warp core back in alignment, saving the actual Enterprise itself.
I just had this thought, like, he just jumps in, and then, like, we see, like, Scotty kind of rounding the corners, like, and here's your radiation suit. We have these
Listen. Like, 4 episodes into the original series, they go down to a planet wearing hazmat suits. Someone takes off their glove, touches something, then goes underneath their helmet to scratch their face.
You know what? This is just a reminder that Galaxy Quest really was the best Star Trek movie.
What this tells me is that there is no OSHA in Starfleet.
Is it air?
You don't know?
So yeah, Kirk's dying of radiation, so he can't exit the little safe space that he's in because the radiation will get out or something. Let all the warm air out.
And so Spock's like, I'm having a plan. I'm gonna go beat up John Harrison. Khan.
Well, first he's going to watch Kirk die.
Very important.
And they're gonna do the Vulcan symbol over the window. And Kirk's going to be like, help me not be scared. And Spock's like, I can't. I'm fucking terrified. Kirk dies.
Kirk's like, laughs a little bit. Blood coming out of his nose. Loser. I think.
Oh, you're emotionally compromised.
Spock, remember when your planet died.
And Spock, who's having a very bad, awful, no good day.
Poor Spock, man.
Does the Khan yell.
Yeah.
Which is just ridiculous and over the top, and another thing that I hated.
And it should have been...
It's Kirk's move. Well, it makes sense when Kirk does it, because he is melodramatic and whatnot. It's not... Also, it's just not very Klingon. I'm sorry, not Klingon. Vulcan, I'm gonna say. Vulcans are cold-blooded motherfuckers when they're angry.
Yeah.
They will burn you to the ground and then piss on your grave.
Which is exactly what, to be fair, what Spock goes to do to Khan.
That's true. Ooh, that bloodlust getting there.
So he's gonna go, wreck Khan's shit, on Earth, however Khan got there. Oh, it's here that Bones realized that Khan's blood can heal tribbles. And so surely that would work on humans.
That makes sense. Humans, tribbles, very the same.
Yep. So he needs Khan's blood, so Uhura beams down and goes like, Kirk, Spock! We need him vaguely alive for his blood, and Spock's like, cool, awesome, and keeps him alive.
I don't know, he didn't need alive to have blood. I'm saying it's a little bit easier.
Yeah, there's like, several liters of blood on
just
hand.
all around?
Listen,
yes,
if
right
Spock
there.
kills something, it gets very dead.
That is a very good point, to be honest. Like, it's gone now.
Oh.
It's like, as soon as she says that, he's like, has like the phaser in his hands, like, okay, fine, turns it down from disintegrate.
One more throat punch? No.
Okay, one.
And then I think it cuts right to Kirk waking up in a hospital room.
Because McCoy has cured death.
Death
No longer holds any meaning in Star Trek.
And that's really what the third movie's about, is just McCoy wandering the streets, realizing that he has no purpose, and yet is the purpose of every living creature and person.
And the thing is, the twist in that movie is that it's actually 10,000 years in the future. He is
yes,
gazed upon the stasis of the world that he has wrought, and
oh my God,
only feels regret.
When he feels anything at all.
You know what I love about that? Bones would fucking hate it. Oh, man. So yeah, and then the movie's over.
Cool.
Was there an actual ending after that?
No, there wasn't. I don't recall there being one.
They go flying off into the great beyond on the 5-year mission.
Yet again.
Well, they didn't have the 5-year mission the first time.
They thought that they were going to be given it after their amazing volcano job. Because why else would they both be called in? And I'm like, Kurt, come on, man.
Babe.
You've been in trouble with the law enough times. You should know better than that.
But yeah, Al's correct. It does end with the Star Trek speech.
To boldly go.
Where no one has gone before.
I've gone there.
But yeah, and that's it. That's the movie. It's terrible.
It really
I
is.
love Star Trek. I hate this movie.
With good fucking reason.
And
As which we will now get into.
Oh my goodness.
It's so bad that we could not get through it without going like, but why?
Yep.
But
So
why?
many times.
My God.
Because so often we watch movies and go like, why did they do this thing? And we're all like, because they could.
Can I go
Yes.
first?
Yes.
On story
Absolutely.
changes? Because I'm going for the easy pitch.
God damn
Yep.
it.
We're omitting Khan entirely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because the true enemy in this movie, the Into Darkness, is the rising fascist tendencies that have been occurring within Starfleet ever since the Romulan incursion of the future ship.
Point.
Yeah.
A very good, starting even with that wasn't actually archives, which is science, library science is Pippin.
Yeah.
But in fact, it was Section 30-1, which was already a deep, dark, terrible reveal in DS9 when we're like, wait, we thought the aliens had the super secret police that killed people. We don't.
We're Starfleet.
Oh, sweetie.
Like,
Yep.
we're in the charter. We got rid of that original charter. But but we're still operational. Weird, huh? Because we're in the charter, you see.
But you're not in the charter. Like, you're not reading the right charter.
And
We have two different charters.
And yeah, like, I'm still thinking like we could have like maybe some of these elements of like the library being destroyed or whatever.
Oh yeah, of course.
And the thing that happens here is that, with this cold open that happens, Kirk doesn't get demoted, and this is something that like is surprising Pike, and I think Pike will be like still killed because, vultures and crows and all that. But like he was expecting, based on his report, that Kirk was going to get his ass demoted and all that good stuff and sent to the academy to, learn about the Prime Directive. Curiously, on Admiral Marcus's orders, Kirk gets reassigned to a new special task force instead, because Marcus's game is to have a basically loose cannon captain, which Kirk definitely is.
Oh, God, yes.
Who, if you put him in the right circumstances, would just inadvertently start a war anyway.
Yeah. I mean, he almost did in the first 5 minutes for no good reason.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, like, we could have, like, a colony under attack or something like that, and it's fake Klingons attacking them, and then Kirk is, like, shown fighting them off, or who knows what. And that's going to cause all sorts of weird diplomatic stuff between them and Kronos that they're going to have to figure out. And then they fly over to there, and then we get the sabotage, and I don't know about the, Marcus coming over to kill their asses, but maybe when they figure out that they've been set up, then it's Marcus going, well, shit. I mean, I'm going to have to kill you guys now. Here's
the thing. Bren, you say that, and it immediately makes me think it would have been a really, really interesting story. Interesting, because what is Starfleet's problem, right? Ideals versus, shut up, Pip. Ideals versus, base humanity, right? It's constantly at war. Okay. So duality. Very cool. Also gets Star Trek Into Fucking Darkness, which is like, a dumb title, but there it is. Okay. So what if Pike, right, is a father figure who is the good angel on Kirk's shoulder, right? Mm-hmm. Well, what if Marcus tries to set himself up as another father figure, but he's the devil on the shoulder, being like, actually, I think that your recklessness is great. And so Kirk is having some emotions.
And daddy issues.
Yeah. And daddy issues.
I think in the film, Marcus does call Kirk's son at one point when he's obviously trying to manipulate him.
But I don't, see, it's not the kind of, normally I'm not like, why isn't, this is way obvious. I think that should have been obvious. I think it would have been, because Star Trek is all about fucking metaphors, right?
Oh yeah. So basically, in the background here, while we're writing this, it's actually Star Trek, My Two Dads.
It's very much like, in the background, I would have liked to see Pike live a little longer.
Oh yeah. Yeah, big point of the movie.
I would have liked to see the arc of Kirk rejecting the good angel, and then coming back around. And then the second you come back around, then you kill him off.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Because that way the lesson sticks.
Yeah. Sorry, good dad. Bad dad was bad.
He had candy.
And missiles. I'm full of blood that's slowly leaking out. Oh, no. Very quickly leaking out, actually.
So anyway, that's what I was thinking, me. Brendan, as you were talking.
Yeah. Get rid of Khan because he sucks.
Yep.
And we're just dealing with space fascism, which...
You know what Khan was in that case? He was the task. He wasn't the villain. He was the task. He was the thing that needed to get accomplished to get the real story.
What if Khan was this complete fabrication by Marcus?
Yes.
And it's like...
Yeah.
Iron Man 3 again.
Yeah. No, it's like, Kirk, we found confirmation that the one who attacked us was none other than Khan Noonan Singh?
Yeah,
was
sure.
That?
Khan.
No. Noonan Singh was, that was, Data's creator.
No.
It's
Khan Noonan Singh.
Is it? Okay, anyway. All right. Point is,
I'm looking at the Google page right now.
Okay. And so Marcus is saying, like, our intelligence says that he's on Kronos. You're gonna go and kick his ass. And then there's like nobody there.
And
also if they had tried to, intelligence proof it with, Spock Prime, he would have been like, yeah, no, that was a badass. You did stay away from him. Like, well, okay, that checks out. Not realizing that, of course, that Spock Prime had been debriefed by who? Section 31.
Dun dun dun.
Actually, wait.
Right, that's me.
Actually, where's the temporal police doing? What's the temporal police, temporal federation doing with Spock Prime?
I gotta say, honestly, the fact that they haven't shown up, I'm going to choose to, I'm going to assume that means that this is part of, an intentional thing.
Or.
Cause otherwise they would have been around and been like, duh, guys.
Or it's so fucked up that there is no temporal Starfleet in this timeline.
See, this is what causes the creation of it.
I do like that, though.
And here I am just going like, they're there, but after their encounters with Janeway, they are just like saying fuck it and drinking beer. And it's like, nothing matters anymore, man. They're just gonna do it anyway.
Janeway only hates two things: running out of coffee and temporal mechanics. And she's
I thought you were going to say time cops.
And she has a brand new pot of coffee.
Captain Janeway says all time cops are bastards.
Janeway's a goddamn treat. Sorry. I keep trying to bring this to other Star Treks that I like better.
Yeah. Right, so,
Can I go?
Go ahead.
So, this is kind of jumping off Bren's thing, and might actually be a
derivation.
Just a repeat of it, and you let me know if it is. But, OVS, we dump con.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that Brendan did just do that one, Pippin.
Yeah.
Let me finish. That was the OBS part.
Okay.
Because, like I said, I think the first time we did this, why recreate Wrath of Khan when it's there?
Mm-hmm. Valid.
Not even do Space Seed right. But sort of jumping off of Bren's thing of not just Marcus like manipulating Kirk, but outright recruiting him for Section 31.
Ooh.
The greater good, you guys. The greater good.
And go and delve deeper, not just into the fascism aspect, but Marcus's motivations of why does he want more militarization of Starfleet? Which, just to remind everyone, just to remind everyone and the movie, Starfleet is not a military organization, though they do have weapons because they go into deep space and stuff, and also, occasionally have wars with the Klingons.
And
but that's not our fault.
But for the most part, they're explorers and just nerds in space. The Enterprise is a science vessel. So
they go out of their way to not start fucking wars. They would rather have sex with the aliens than fight them.
Yeah, and they don't mess around with planets that don't have warp technology. When they do have warp, they're like, hey, FYI, we are here when you're ready.
And the Vulcans are always down to fuck.
Yes, they are. And so why does Marcus think this is important? Is it because the Romulan attack in the first movie that almost wrecked them, and it was just a mining vessel from the future?
I think that's the justification he used in the movie, isn't it?
I don't remember it. And if it was there, it was not
sufficiently.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would say, I think Alex is right. I think it was there, but it was a line that passed really fucking quickly.
I think it was like, it exposed a weakness.
Yeah, which is like, okay, so did, not putting the toilet seat down. Like, okay. As opposed to really, like, going through it.
It exposed a lot of weaknesses. Better OPSEC would have fixed that one.
Not sending an entire fleet for one distress call.
Not letting Chris Hemsworth be in charge. I'm gonna say that.
Well, no.
You're right. He saved 300 people that day.
Within 5 minutes, with it being captain for only 5 minutes, he saved a lot of lives in that short amount of time. So yeah, and sort of delving more into that and why, and getting specifically into why militarization isn't the answer to these things.
You know what this says to me, actually, is that what this film is missing.
A heart?
Because, not just a heart, but the point of Star Trek originally was goddamn metaphors in space. One might even say that's the point of science fiction. What? Politics and science fiction.
Star Trek wasn't even subtle about it.
They really weren't. That was literally the point. It's like, oh, I'm on a planet filled with half black, half white people, but we don't, racism. Oh, and then
the first season had, patriots versus communists, and they aren't actually all that different.
Oh, and they also had the birth control is important episode. Mm-hmm. And women should have access to it.
Play fighting is just like real fighting.
And has consequences.
And also terrifying space amoebas.
And Nazis are bad.
And
so
sometimes naked time.
Yeah!
Woo! Listen, Vulcans care very deeply for things. But, so what I'm saying is that this movie is lacking the metaphor. Just, when Star Trek doesn't know what to do, it should fall back on, the way I fall back on, I don't know what to write about, I don't know, okay, parents and children. That's what Star Trek needs to do. It needs to fall back on metaphor. The guy who knew the assignment for that one, weirdly, is, what's his head who does the Orville?
Seth MacFarlane.
Seth
MacFarlane, who sometimes brings a kind of Seth MacFarlane-ness to the whole thing. But his fallback position is the metaphor. And it works. That's why it is, I would say, a very effective Star Trek. And it shows because he's a huge fucking mega nerd about it. But this movie doesn't have that. And that shows over and over again.
This movie so desperately wanted to be cool.
Mm-hmm.
That it forgot that it was Star Trek.
Yeah.
Which is a goddamn nerd show. And that's why it's awesome.
This is another goddamn J.J. Abrams joint.
Yep. Who does not like Star Trek.
Yeah. It's amazing he got, the first reboot to work as well as it did.
You know what? I credit the actors. And when it comes to my turn to explain the thing, I will tell you why.
But yeah. Oh, also, I'm not sure that Carol Marcus did anything for this movie.
Oh,
nope.
No.
Except get her leg broke.
Other than add another woman, which to be fair is something that Star Trek is bad at.
Too many dicks on the dance floor.
So, either cut Carol entirely, or at very least remove the weird underwear scene, which apparently Alice Eve did not see a problem with.
Listen, sometimes women are themselves perpetuators of the patriarchy.
Yeah. That's me.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah, go for it, man.
So, I'm gonna fucking lean in on John Harrison. Cause I want to do things different and be contrary. But also, I'm serious about it just being John Harrison and not Khan.
Legit. Honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah. I want this to go like a fucking Bond movie.
Can you explain?
Well, cause he's doing spy shit at the start.
Oh, so you mean pick a genre?
Yeah.
Lean into it.
Yeah. And I'm just unassuming John Harrison. And I saw a hole in the Starfleet's defenses. And I thought to myself, might as well, blow it all up and set myself as the ruler of it all.
Just to watch it burn.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm a scientist. I had a hypothesis. I wanted to test it.
Yeah.
Which, honestly, and then I wrote it down, and that proves it's science.
Yeah, I knew that if I blew stuff up, you'd all meet in this one room, like fucking fish in a barrel.
It actually reminds me a little bit, that reminds me of Terry Pratchett's villain Vorbis from Small Gods, who genuinely thought he was doing the right thing. It was heavily religious, but there's one scene where he sees a turtle that's struggling on its back in the middle of the sun. And instead of leaving it alone or turning it over, any number of things, instead puts another rock under its shell to keep it, making sure it can't turn back over. And then quietly just notes to himself that he would have to come back later to see how it was getting on, cooking in the sun.
Mm.
And and there's no malice in it. It was just a curiosity.
Yeah.
The curiosity without compassion.
Yeah.
Mm.
Ooh, show the dark side of science.
Ooh, what? With nerds? Science nerds, you say, Pippin?
Yeah.
Yeah. And knew about, Marcus is fucking, fucking Dick Starship being built. So head to Chrono was to give Marcus that excuse he was looking for. And then Marcus gets his ass handed to him, because, the Federation, while able to do self-defense, can't actually do an aggressive war.
No, they persistently were kind of fucky against the Klingons, I'm sorry. They weren't very good at being at war with the Klingons.
Yeah. And so Marcus that's handed to him. And now suddenly, there's no one left in Starfleet but John Harrison. Yeah. John Harrison Day. And, Kirk can have fun being James Bond. But, Kirk.
But Kirk.
Yeah. Yeah.
I like the idea of doing a genre mashup, as it were.
Yeah.
So this is already science fiction. And I'm so sorry, I'm doing a lot of Marvel this time. But that's straight up what Captain America's Winter Soldier was. Shut up. It was a superhero film mixed with Cold War thriller, which was thematically also appropriate. Cause it's bringing his level of war back from, is it World War II, Cold War, and then we can do modern war. So in this case, I like the idea of doing the mashup. How would Bond shit thematically go with where they are now in terms of reboot?
All of Bond's gadgets can fit in a nifty tricorder, so there you go.
Yeah, that's a good point. So I like that idea a lot. I think, should people at Paramount call us up and be like, guys, we've decided to redo Star Trek Into Darkness. What do you got? I would like to do a little bit more in terms of doing that, figuring out what the metaphor is for bringing in Bond shit. And again, that could be into the, for idealism versus, the secret spy shit. What do you have to do to get the idealistic future?
And really the answer is just let Julia and have his fun holo novel.
Yes.
Oh, sorry. I just remembered that also the movie didn't do any deep dives into the whole, eugenics war thing. Yeah,
which, by the way, was such an important thing.
Also, it also didn't go into darkness.
So let's move on.
It's my turn, though.
Yeah.
Okay, so I don't want to get into stuff we've done before. So I mentioned that I actually watched this a little differently because I did want to ensure I had a different thing going on. So what I did is I popped the movie onto Paramount Plus, and then I started watching it at between 1.8 and 2.2 speeds fast. Because I already knew most of the dialogue. I knew I knew the story. I wanted to see what would happen. And, I sped it up during the boring parts, fight scenes, long pauses, and slowed it down so I could hear dialogue. But not significantly. Here's what I found. One, there's a surprising amount of touching going on between, thematic touching between Kirk and Spock, but that don't talk about. I don't know if that's something that was just a missed opportunity or if it was something the actors were doing to be, putting their own stories in because actors do that. But it was a fascinating thing. There was a lot of physical blocking that I think would have made a really interesting story had they actually done it consistently. So for instance, Carol Marcus sitting down between, literally sitting between, Kirk and Spock as they're having this argument.
Completely unsubtle.
Yeah, I know. True. But it was kind of charming, weirdly, when you're watching it, 2.3. And then, what I really noticed was that, because I couldn't hear the dialogue, because I couldn't really pay attention to the faces, because I couldn't be who's a great actor? Chris Pine. Basically, charming actors couldn't save huge pacing problems and huge logic problems. The times when I could speed up to 2.3 were there were not an insignificant number of them where shit all happened because it was just long tracking shots of people moving from place to place. And yeah, maybe there's tension supposed to be happening, but is it a good tension? No. I would say no. There's one that literally I'm doing at 2.3 and I swear to God, we spent a solid 10 seconds just zooming in slowly on Benedict Cumberbatch's face. What I'm saying is...
Yeah.
What I'm saying is that from this perspective, I don't think I, at least, could do an effective edit of this film from the perspective of watching it and redoing it. Because I think I get blinded to a degree by the saving graces of the actors. I think I would have to go back down to literal script and fuck around from there. Yeah. Because when you're at that, things like how long a tracking shot, that's directing, right? But the part where the logic, there's some weird logic about how, if there's some points where if they had done nothing, then Admiral Marcus would have gotten his way. If he had done nothing, he would have gotten his way. But everybody's doing actions just to make a story happen. And there's weird reveal. For instance, Section 31 didn't have to be there. It could have just been some fucker blowing up an archive. But then they're reveal also it's Section 31. There's so much that's a problem. So
it's a hat on a hat.
Very good, very good. So yeah, it's a hat on a hat. So I would go right back down to the script. I'd strip it out. Now, the lesson we can learn from this is that you can hide a lot of shit if you dance real nice, Style and grace has saved a lot of writing. I mean, Lord knows I do amazing transitions. I would not say that I structure arguments well. But sometimes it's hard to tell. Because I'm and meanwhile, blah, 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 transition. So I do think that this speaks to the importance of really paying attention to the bones underneath what you're doing. Provided you care. Maybe you don't care. Maybe you just want a buck.
So what would you actually change?
What would I actually change? Part of my argument here is that I think that I'd have a difficult time with it. Or I feel a bit blinded currently. At the moment, I would just fix the logic problems. I think that I think there are there's a hat on the hat. There's too many complications. I think that the traveling around to I think going to Kronos was unnecessary. And I think it's, why did he go there? Was he trying to draw the Enterprise out? Why? No, that was Marcus's plan. No. There needs to be a much more obvious task, I think. And this is where I'm just gonna steal all y'all's stuff, frankly. Because there wasn't a consistent task. Can you name one task in this film? Seriously.
Kill John Harrison.
Yeah.
But do all of their actions aim towards that? No, because partway through, first of all, they ignore that task in order to do something else.
Wait.
Incorrect. They have the moral debate because Kirk is all aboard with killing John Harrison for a while until his crew is like, hey, bro, let's not kill him because that doesn't seem very Starfleet. Does that seem very Starfleet? No. Well,
then you can revise the task to find John Harrison, which is still valid, but they do. They do halfway through, and then you're taskless again.
The task is revenge.
And then, so let's clarify, where is the revenge? Who is the revenge? There needs clarification. It needs to be stripped down and that gets it right back to metaphors. Let's just make it simple and straightforward, but that gets you the better story. There.
Really, I think what Star Trek Into Darkness was trying to do was tell a story about revenge and sucked at it.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Because it was revenge against Khan at first, and then it was Khan's revenge against Starfleet, and then it was Spock's revenge against Khan.
I would have liked it better if it was two dads.
Yeah.
My Two Dads. That's the new Star Trek movie.
I'd watch it.
I'd watch it in a heartbeat. Guys, so that's the end of that one. I have a suggestion for what to do instead of a game.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, yeah? And not only because we've been talking for...
Not only for
over an hour.
What? Nonsense.
Listen, fuck this movie is my point.
Oh my god, I'm trying to look up our own website and I literally no Star Trek, no! So my idea is, or rather, it was our idea. I'm not gonna lie to our audience. It was a mutual decision. Is that because
Brendan's idea?
It was Brendan's idea. Fine. Brendan's idea.
Thank you.
But I remember there's a transcript. Is that, because this is our 100th episode, because we are, and Ashley wrote the transcript. Shut up.
Also, you're saying I remember the transcript. The rest of us are already in it.
First of all, fuck you.
I posted the link for you, Kat.
Oh, did you? Thank you. So anyway, so basically what we're going to do is we're going to, look at because none of us, I believe, re-listen to our episode because we wanted to come into this fresh for our audience to really see, what the pure changes were over the last 4 years. How are we different people? And, how have we grown together? And so we're going to look at our original changes and see how they contrast to our current ones. And maybe the first ones were better.
Well, yeah, I took a peek at mine. And, what do you know? Past Brendan's instincts are mostly there. I have made an explicit mention about the false flag attack.
Mm-hmm.
I think I just didn't like Khan even then. But I think what I was focusing more on was let's see, I made a mention of the prodigal son story, which who knows? I guess that was Kirk.
Yeah. Children and fathers, man.
But I didn't mention anything about my two dads, so that's...
So we're already doing better.
We're doing better. We're doing better. Yeah, so I guess in my original treatment, it was much more of a Starfleet power grab, whereas now I guess I'm more cynical and they've been fascists all along, you guys. They've been fascists all along.
They were fascists
if we take
all along.
If we take a look at like what we've lived through, to be honest, over the last few years, I can see a certain cynicism getting into our...
It's true.
I'm looking through it and we were pissed about the Tribbles the first time too.
Yep.
We talked a lot more about the racist aspects of Khan not being played by a person of color.
I think we remembered that we did it last time.
Oh, interesting. Yeah. I actually had kept John Harrison in there. Huh. Weird. Weird. No, that's bad. Bad past me. Anyway, yeah, that's me.
My thing was, let's go entirely different, and have the Enterprise go on a mission of diplomacy to Kronos.
Oh, yeah, yours was a solid plot, man. I remember that we did some really tight, interesting plot things, particularly with Carol.
Yeah.
I remember there was also spy elements in that one as well, right?
Probably yes, because fucking these are awesome. I mean, spies are fucking awesome, but, you take your pick.
As I recall, and I'm looking at this, I think, Alex, you made Kronos make sense. As I recall. Yeah, because I'm looking at this one section. It says, it's me talking, where I'm finding it very interesting that what essentially happened with our solutions is that we had different ideas about, like, what the point should be of the story. But Pippin and I were basically going with let's get down to bare basics, let's go down to theme and make the movie about that, which gets back. I've been using the word theme there, whereas now I'm using the word metaphor. And
you've learned and grown.
Yeah. Whereas you, Brendan and Alex, you were trying to save as much movie. You were really trying to fix the movie. You're trying to not change, literally fix. You're trying to save as much of it as you could.
Yep.
And I think that's very interesting. That's why Alex kept Kronos, and that's, Brendan, probably why you kept John Harrison.
As a challenge, and now I'm like, no, we have to strangle it.
You know what? Like, why are we keeping this? Fuck it. And I think that speaks to your skills as an editor growing.
Hooray.
Oh yeah, they were hiding it behind Jupiter.
Yeah, no,
I said that.
I gotta say, Al, you had a really tight plot. Like, it was some good shit. I think yours was the one I got most excited about.
Actually, you said Brent Swan at the end.
Never mind. Okay, Brent's...
Oh, wow, we decided who won at the end back then.
Remember that?
Man.
Yeah.
We're much
fools.
more collaborative now.
It's not a competition. It's not a competition because I always win.
Wait. No, Pippin's described our podcast really well once as collaborative storytelling, but competitive.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah. I end up talking about the theory of the point of a long spear. Why it's a problem that the film is not, that it's both catering and pandering to its fandom while at the same time not understanding it.
Oof.
Yeah.
I had a good line about Khan giving the a Google pin.
I made a reference to Heroes. Remember that show, guys?
Oh yeah.
Oh man.
Because we were trying to think of different actors. But we were trying to think of different actors who could have been Khan, and we thought of the guy who played Mohinder.
Oh,
yeah. Remember? Yeah, right? Wouldn't he have been amazing?
Dev Patel could probably play him now.
Dev Patel.
Or,
honestly, I'd go with Cal Penn, because I think that's a side, like, coming out of left field. Can you imagine?
Or the guy who's doing a bunch of horror these days.
Oh.
Role.
Oh, him! Oh, with the mustache?
Yeah.
Oh, he's good.
Anyway, let's get back on track.
We could talk about actors we'd prefer for so long. All right, so it looks like I was, I can't find me exactly, but I was basically wishy-washying about metaphor and theme again. Looks like Pippin was doing the same, and Brendan and Alex had the real things. How do you think that compares to what we did now?
I mean, I will always be wishy-washy.
It seems like Pippin's hatred has only crystallized.
Ooh.
I said fucking went with spy stuff, but it was like, let's keep John Harrison. John Harrison, and our man.
I do think that you guys spent less time trying to salvage this and more time being like, you know what? Let's figure out what we can grow out of the ashes. And I'm not sure which is better. On the one hand, the theory behind how do you fix this one thing, keeping what you can, is that then you can use that to, frankly, take the serial numbers off and create, quote unquote, create something new. And in that way, you're sort of contributing to the overall culture. But there's also value in the, well, fuck this. They did it wrong. I can do it better. Which is using it essentially as a creative jumping off point. Do you guys think that there's value for yourselves now in one versus the other?
I mean, I can use both ideas. Like,
it's true.
Like, no diplomacy meeting. Well, at the same time, the people you're working for are secretly being fascists. Yeah. Or, spy romp.
Oh my god, you guys.
Yeah.
Guys, I found something amazing in the transcript.
What?
Pippin. Well, the thing is, it's a known thing in emergency services that if there is one explosion or mass casualty plan thing, there is possibly going to be another one specifically targeting Brendan. Targeting the response? Pippin. Targeting the response. Cat. Oh shit!
That's how fucking obvious it was.
You're going about how dumb it was. It was word for word. I love that, and I love you, Pippin. 4 years later.
I want to point out that I was trying to find my story idea in the transcript.
Oh my god, in the case of a terrorist action, there it is. It's all there.
And I'm having trouble finding mine because,
yeah, because I keep
Cat speaks in paragraphs, whereas somebody will interrupt me. So I can't tell what's me actually trying to talk and just me interrupting other people.
Yeah. Yeah, to be fair, I can't find my own self because I just talk in paragraphs anyway.
Oh, I mentioned Space Seed a lot.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, because again, you are the original trick.
If I remember my original argument correctly, I think I argued that either they do a sequel to a different episode or they do Space Seed. The movie.
Yes, yeah.
I think that was my argument the first time around.
Actually,
I think you're right.
Yeah, I think that as well. Hey, Brent, you actually made a really interesting point about that for a movie about space, they haven't spent too much fucking time on Earth.
Mm-hmm. That seems to be a problem consistent with the first two.
They did better with the third.
Yeah. No,
I remember really liking the third, and I remember no one else liking the third.
No, well, here's the thing. Who were the ones who didn't like it? Because I feel like if you go back to the nerd core, shit like stupid jokes about like, yes, classical music, and it's like Beastie Boys. Like, that's right in the zone of dumb Star Trek humor.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's like listing, like, remember the 3 famous artists of our, that we all know about is Alien, name from the 20th century, name from the 19th century, alien name nobody's ever heard of.
Also, it's a great joke in any science fiction. It's right up there with Doctor Who and we will now play a classic from Earth and playing Britney Spears' Toxic.
Fuck yeah. To be fair, Toxic's amazing.
It is. It is a classic of our time. We should all listen to it after this.
I think that's our signal that we've run out of stuff to talk about.
Yep. Yeah. Real talk. I think we want to end this, guys.
Yeah, absolutely. I would suggest that listening audience, I think it would be, if not listen to the original one, just to see how amazingly we've changed. The transcript is there, and I think it's valid to read it. It's fascinating. But otherwise, thank you so much for coming with us on this amazing 4-year, soon to be 5-year mission. exploring storytelling, hanging out with each other, getting to bring you guys in to listen and to participate. And, we appreciate each and every one of you. And if you have anything that you'd like to tell us, any favorite moments, anything like that, please do share it. You can contact us through our website. You can contact us at Twitter. And hopefully by the time this episode comes out, there will be some neat swag available for sale. Some merch that is 100th episode. If not themed, then certainly timed for it.
Oh, you're making some promises that the rest of us are not.
Nope, this is all on me, guys. And you can count on it.
We can bet on it. Bet on it. Bet on it. And do you think when the 200th episode arrives, we'll be able to look back on this movie again and come up with different plots yet again?
We'll come up with different plots, but we'll still say the same exact fucking thing about emergency services.
It's gonna be like that Paul, till death do us blurt. And I'm here for that. aside from good taste.
Right.
Take us out and get us shut.
I'll be doing that one. Though you already took account for that from me, but as always, if you have an idea or prompt to submit, head on over to nostorysacred.com/submission. Follow us on Twitter at nostorysacred, or send an email through contact@nostorysacred.com. Your hosts have been Alex MacDonald, Brendan MacDonald, Pippin MacDonald, and Catherine Crichton. Editing for this episode done by Brendan. Transcript done by Ashley DaCosta. Art by Jay Wolf. Show notes and transcripts are available at nostorysacred.com. Thanks for listening, everyone, and please rate, review, and subscribe to No Story Sacred. You can also visit our Patreon page to support the show and get neat rewards at patreon.com/nostorysacred. Cat made a promise.
Fuck.
See you next time when we discuss the classic of our time, The Princess Diaries 2.
Also, our Mouse Chris episode.
Indeed.
Yes.
Indeed it is. For you see, it has Chris Pine, and so did this, actually.
Yeah, I know, we really shut our shit here.
Yeah, we should have somehow delayed the 100th episode even more.
We should have done November of minisodes.
Damn it.
Regrets.
That's actually not a bad idea in the future, just a mini-set. Anyway.
But
It'd be February.
I don't know.
That's true, the mini episodes for the mini month.
I was thinking mini episodes for NaNoWriMo.
ooh.
Right? Anyway, you know what, guys? This is business talk. Our audience doesn't need to hear this.
But until...
And get ideas. Expectations.
Though we can keep some of it in so to give a peek behind the curtain for them.
Ooh.
Until then, we're No Story Sacred, and any story can be changed. I'm Alex.
I'm Kat.
I'm Brendan.
And I'm Pippin.
And we're
No
Story
Sacred.
Sacred.